Here's a short list of how to get fired in a jiffy. Never ever, number 1. Never ever use the scrubby side of the sponge on chrome or stainless steel or anything shiny like cabinet fronts. I do not care how much of a stubborn goober it was on the dishwasher. Do not ever use the scrubby side of the sponge on it. Do you have any idea how much it costs to replace a fridge door? If a training manager sees you using the scrubby side of the sponge on anything like stainless steel or anywhere where it shouldn't be, they are instructed, no, they are commanded to run across that room and smack that shit out of your hand. If they see you doing it twice in a row, they will send you home. We cannot have someone as dangerous as a scrubby side of the sponge wielding nightmare ruining clients' homes. Never ever, number 2. Never ever leave a client's home unlocked. For our clients, their home is likely their largest, most expensive asset. It is their safe space where they raise their family and relax in the evenings after they're home with work. Do not violate that trust by carelessly leaving their home unlocked. I don't want to hear, "Oh, I tried the door. I thought I locked it." Always try the door. After you've locked it, try to open it again. If you can't open it, great, go. If you can't open it again, fix it. Okay? You have to lock the client's home. Check the job notes. In the past, we have had a few weird clients that just don't have keys for their house. Check the job notes. If it says, make sure it's locked, make sure it's locked. If they say, no, leave it unlocked, that's fine. Realistically, I would rather you lock the door and I have to pay the $50 to change the lock because they had to drill it out to get into their house because they didn't have a key. When in doubt, call the office or your field support manager. Never ever, number 3. Never ever let pets where they aren't supposed to be. If the client has pets, check the job notes. No, don't leave the front door open, inviting Mr. McSneaky to run out and get hit by a car. When in a home that has pets, if a door is closed, treat it as if it were the front door as well. Same for if a door is open. If the door is open, leave it open. Last thing you want to do is lock a cat out from where its litter box or food is, because the cat will take a shit on the front mat, the client will step in it when they get home, and that will be their first impression of the job, and let me tell you, you will hear about it. And just to help you with things, here's some policies about how things should be done. First of all, when in doubt, ask someone. Pick up the phone, give them a call. If it's not super urgent, send a text. The only stupid question is an unasked one. Always read the job notes. Know what you're getting into so you can speak confidently about things like a professional, because you are a professional. When entering a client's home, when they aren't there to let you in, there's going to be a code or a lockbox or something. Get the key from the lockbox first. Then you can knock on the door and ring the doorbell. Wait a few seconds, give them some time to collect themselves if they're home. Maybe they're not, I don't know, you don't know. Once you ring the doorbell, it's a great time to clock into the job. We clock into the job at the front door. Ring the doorbell, wait a few seconds. Then you can let yourself in. Announce yourself loudly as you go in. Happy cleaning day! This is Joanna with Clean Affinities. Anybody home? Keep talking as you walk into the client's home. You never know who might be home in their underwear, doing whatever, I don't know. Ask me how I know. Some things cannot be unseen. If you can't get into a client's home, try everything you can possibly think of for about 5 minutes. If you still haven't gotten in after that first 5 minutes, call the office. Maybe they know something that you don't. Maybe if they don't know something, keep trying persistently for another 15 minutes. After about 20 minutes total of active, intent looking, you've tried everything. You've tried every door, every rock, you've looked under the mat, you looked under every flower pot, you looked under the neighbor's mat and flower pot. I don't even care. Try everything you can to get into that house. Then if after 20 minutes total, you still haven't gotten in, call the office again. Maybe they know something again. I don't know, but don't leave a job until you've gotten the okay. You're gonna look pretty dumb if you do a really bad job looking, only for the client to be like, I was home, why didn't they knock? Or the client's like, it's under the flower pot like always. Don't be that person. Make every effort to look under every flower pot, every stone, under every mat. Go around to the back of the house, see if you can get in back there. Look for lock boxes, look for anything. But you have to look. If the client asks for the moon and they want a ton of extra stuff done, what do? First of all, for yourself, know that we charge by the job for an estimated amount of time. The client can ask for pretty much anything as long as you're able to get everything done in their scheduled amount of time. If they're a 3-hour job and it really only takes like maybe 2 hours and 45 minutes and they just want like the coffee pot cleaned out or something, it's gonna take you 2 seconds. So just clean the coffee pot out. If they ask for something big, like to fold 14 loads of laundry, it's gonna take you an hour or something, they need to give us the okay to go over time to charge them more. Sometimes if it's a small enough gig, it's nothing too big, we can deprioritize something a little more. You do a little less solid job on the shower. You can give it a quick wipe down or something. And then that will free up some time to fold a load of laundry that'll take 5 minutes. Depending on the job, we need to clarify with the client before doing the work that we have the okay to charge them more. Sometimes clients will make requests not thinking that it's going to be a big job or anything, but we need to clarify the expectation with the client first. We need to get paid for the work that we do. If you don't have the guts or you don't know what to say to the client, it's okay to say, "I'm sorry, I'm gonna call the office real quick just to see what they say. This is a little bit out of the norm." Okay? We don't want to say no to the client per se, but we don't want to say like, "Yeah, sure, we'll do whatever," and it ends up taking like 7 hours. Okay? We don't have time for that. The ultimate point being that we need to get their permission to charge them more before we do the work. Makes sense. We never open cabinets and drawers in a client's home except for in the kitchen, because you gotta open it up to get around the hinges and stuff. It just has to be done. On the whole, people don't keep too much weird stuff in their kitchen, so that's okay. When it comes to bathrooms and bedrooms and anywhere else in the house, if it's closed, it stays closed. The only time it's okay to look in cabinets or drawers other than in the kitchen is if the job notes explicitly say that's where you're gonna find the bin liners for taking out garbage. Here's the thing. We always open every single door. It's best to do this when you're vacuuming. The idea being that, one, we need to make sure it's not some hidden half bath or something. Don't assume that it's just a closet because it's got a little skinny door. And every time the client opens and closes the closet door, all that weird stuff in their closet is going to scurry out onto their floors where they're walking and seeing things. We do not move anything that could be important or confidential that is on a client's desk. Move the keyboard and the stapler and the tchotchkes and stuff, but do not touch or move the stacks of papers, bank statements, whatever it could be, who knows. Even if it's in a folder, keep it there, put your hand on top, and clean around it. The clients have been told during their welcome visit that their desks might not be cleaned as well as the rest of their house. They know that going into it. Respect their confidentiality and all that other good stuff. Just don't mess with it, okay? You can't be lazy about their desks though. They're gonna have a lot of stuff on it, stuff that's not important, keyboards and staplers and the like, those need to be moved. Move the item, clean the space. Clean the item, then replace. Even if the garbage is overflowing, do not take it out unless the job notes say to take out their garbage and recycle it. What often happens is they'll have a regular person, and even though the job notes say, no, we don't do garbage, their regular person may take out their garbage anyway because it needs to be done, and like, hey, that's good customer service. Here's the thing. The regular person can't go and you're filling in for them. What happens is you read the job notes because you're good at your job, and the job notes say, hey, no, we don't do garbage and recycling. And you're like, okay, well, it's kind of really bad, but I'm gonna leave it there anyway because that's what the job notes say. Then the client comes home, they're like, they didn't take out my garbage. So-and-so always takes out my garbage. So-and-so does a good job. Like, really, you're probably both doing good jobs, but what the first person should have done is left a note to office saying, hey, this always needs to be done, add this to the custom fields. We're looking for the consistency and continuity between different cleaners for the clients. The clients need to have the same experience every time. If you're the regular and this is what you do all the time, make sure there is a note in the job so that if someone is filling in for you, they know to do it that way. What do you do if the client leaves you a sink full of dirty dishes? If it's our first time cleaning for the client, we're gonna clean them because we wanna make that really good first impression. What you're gonna do is you're gonna clean the counter, get it all done, you're gonna lay the dish towel out, and you're just gonna start hand washing stuff. If the dishwasher is empty or full of dirty dishes, go ahead, load the dishwasher. That's totally fine. If it is a recurring job, a classic clean, and they leave you a big pile of dishes, we do have a policy and the clients do know about it that we will only hand wash as many dishes as will safely fit on a standard dish towel without having to be Jenga stack masters. If they leave you a crap ton of dishes, it is okay to skip the sink with proper documentation. When in doubt, call your field support manager and be like, hey, so this client left me a ton of dishes. It's gonna take me like a half hour to clean them all. At least if you're not confident about your decision to not clean the dishes, you have the support of your field support manager, okay? Then what you wanna do is you wanna leave a note to that client as politely as you can, saying, hey, sorry I didn't clean all your dishes today or your sink because there's dirty dishes in the way. But I did this instead. I did a better job on your floors. You know, tell them good news, okay? On the back of the notes that you're writing for these clients are all our policies. Feel free to just politely, keyword being politely, circle the policy and maybe like a little smiley face or something and just let the client politely know that that's why you didn't clean the sink. When you break something, and it will happen, trust me, everyone does it, we need to communicate that to the office and the client. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna take a picture of whatever it was you broke and text that to the office. The office is going to email the client, letting them know, hey, sorry this happened in your house today, so that they know about it before they get home. Last thing you want is for the client to come home and see, oh, this heirloom plate was broken and now I'm really pissed. At least if they get an email about it before with a picture attached, they can be like, oh, that plate, whatever. We're trying to get in front of it. We're trying to be proactive. Let the client know about it before they can tell you about it. We offer 3 types of clean. We have classic, we have elite, and we have one time. Classic cleans are the standard maintenance clean. This is your weekly, bi-weekly, monthly, recurring schedule. You see the same people every time. Elite cleans are our initial deep cleans before starting the classic cleans. Sometimes a client doesn't need a full elite clean, in which case they just get a larger classic clean for their first visit. The job notes will tell you this. It'll be a different job type. We do offer one-time cleans. We don't do a ton of them. It kind of just as the schedule allows. One-time cleans are catch-up jobs, like a move-in or move-out, or maybe someone's got company coming and they just need help getting on top of the house again. Before elite cleans and classic cleans, we always do a welcome visit. So we are seeing the space before we clean it. We price these by the job instead of by the hour necessarily. Obviously, we're there for a certain amount of time and we want to get the job done in that time, but at least we know what we're getting into. Elite cleans are just going to have a lot more scrubbing, but we do some things differently. For classic cleans, we're going to always vacuum the outside of upholstered furniture. Definitely get the dog hair and cat hair off and whatever Cheerios might be on top. For elite cleans, we're going to vacuum under the cushions as well. For classic cleans, we're going to use the Webster to get cobwebs off of lights and ceiling fans. For elite cleans, we're going to use a stepladder provided by the client to clean those by hand with a damp microfiber. For classic cleans, when we're dusting, we may not move and clean everything every time because it just doesn't always need to be done. For elite cleans, we are moving and we are touching everything in the client's house. For classic cleans, we do not move furniture. For elite cleans, we're gonna scoot whatever furniture that can be scooted out to vacuum and mop underneath. Always do under furniture, even if you can't scoot it. Ideally, the client will move large, heavy stuff and that we can move back, but that's not always the case. The point being, for elite cleans, we need to be sure that we are vacuuming and mopping under furniture, especially beds, couches, the like. When you're moving furniture, be wary of damage to floors, okay? If you think it might be scratching, stop and look, okay? Don't keep moving it just to see, oh wow, there's a giant 6-foot scratch on the floor now. We don't want to do that. For one-time jobs, we have not seen the space, and we're just going off the information that the client has provided us. Sometimes it's not always super accurate. For these, it is imperative that you communicate well. When you first get to the job, if the client isn't there to let you in, call the client and ask them what their priorities are. Get it as explicit as possible. Be like, oh, I want the kitchen clean and then I want the floors clean. Be like, oh, you don't want your bathrooms done? Okay, get it from them. If the client is there, just ask the client. Just Keep that line of communication open. If you're about an hour out from finishing the job, call the client and let them know if you're not going to be able to get everything done. Get from them their decision what you should do and not do, okay? If you have time and there's availability in the schedule for you to go over by an hour or so and the client gives you the okay to do that, go for it. Totally cool. Make sure there's a note to office letting the office know to charge them accordingly because they're paying for our time by the hour. If the space is empty, there's nothing in it, like it's a move in or a move out clean, we are going to clean everything like usual with the added bonus of vacuuming and damp wiping out the insides of all cabinets and drawers in both the kitchen and the bathrooms. Appliances are by request regardless of what kind of clean it is, so always check the job notes. In summary, the main difference between Classic and Elite and One Time are for Classic and Elite, we've seen the place before we've gone into it. For One Time, we haven't seen the place, and it is always, always, always so important to communicate clearly, to communicate with the office and the clients. Communicating and being proactive puts everyone at ease, and it makes you look like the smartest person in the room.